Tableau. So I'll just let you know about the versions and everything. We have some little theoretical parts to cover. So I'll not take a lot much of time, but a few terminologies are relevant to the Tableau we need to understand. So we'll be discussing that in the theoretical parts. And within this presentation, we'll also understand the different versions of Tableau and what version we are using. So someone has already installed the Tableau part. Just check which version it is and how it is, whether it is working or not. Just see that. Bouncing, like as you said, it's 5 months before, so probably that would work. But which version you have to see it. So just give me some time. I'll make you understand about the versions so that you can understand which version you have downloaded. So again, that 5 months old version will not be working. So you have to just download the latest version of that. So just give me some time. I'll let you know. So probably we'll also take some time for installing the software as well. So before we start, just guys, let me know like till what time you are available. As per the schedule, it is till 4:30. So you guys are available till 5:30 to continue, or should we stop at 4:30? So according to which, I'll try to plan off what all things we can cover it in that particular time. So can we continue till 5:30, or should we stop by 4:30? Is what I wanted to know. Majority will go.
I stay for 4:30. Bhushan here.
Okay, Ocean. Okay, so Prashant roll all 4:30. Fine. Okay, no worries. So today we'll plan a little like that is understanding about the Tableau is a little part of a theoretical, and certainly we'll first understand the basic working of the different types of charts to just get some kind of an hands-on on the tool, and that will be the initial part. After that, we'll start working with the basic charts. So there are certainly like 8 to 10 charts to create. So that 10 charts, like probably we might not be completing all that. Let's see how it goes on. So if that can be completed, we can do it by 4:30, or let's see. Anyways, we have a little more time. So probably in the next week, we can try to finish it off all that. Right?
And Krishna installation part we'll do today or next
Yeah,
week?
no. Today only we have to do it. We'll do it. It's hardly a 15,
Okay.
20 minutes part. So while at the part of this presentation, which I'm explaining, after a few slides, probably after 15 minutes or something, we'll be having the downloading, where to download. I'll explain you about the versions,
Okay.
so you can keep it downloaded. Meanwhile, I'm completing all the theoretical by the presentation. At the end of this presentation, you can complete the installation by then. So before to that, you should understand what version you are using, why we are using that version. So all that, if you get an understanding, it is up to their interest which tool they wanted to go for. So that's the reason I'm just holding for a few minutes so that you can download it, install. We'll do all that today. So this is completely practical oriented, which you guys have to do it rather than I explain something. It is not like a SaaS. So to making it very, very clear, it is not like a SaaS, which I explain a concept, then show some kind of a programs for execution, and I'll ask you to do it later. So Tableau is completely different, which you guys have to do it rather than me. I've shared all the documents. I'll explain you how to do it, how to start working on it. Everything you'll be doing on a hands-on basis. Okay. So very few things which I'll be discussing. The rest of everything has to be done by you so that you will get an hands-on on working on the Tableau. And I think Guru, yesterday you asked a question, so which might be helpful for anyone. So whatever the course which is designed for us from the Immaticus, the time duration is really very little. So probably whatever the time they have provided to us, so what I have tried to work on it is like these Tableau sessions would be generally an introductory. So I've thought of at least going through the working of the entire Tableau almost as possible, so that you guys can get some idea how and where the tools and where the options have been organized. So let's say you wanted to learn by yourself something later on, so you'll get all the options with an hands-on basis, so you can just try working on it, not concentrating much on the tool. Then you can directly work on the like charts or whatever you wanted to prepare it. So that way I have created this particular whatever the course for us, as it is very short time. but still I try to implement as much as possible, right? So from your perspective, will that be sufficient for attending some kind of a job interview? So probably as an introductory or as a tool or as per the interview purpose and a basic or like a basic part, it would be sufficient. But certainly if you wanted to go for some kind of an experienced opportunity, let's say 2+ or 3+ or something, this will be helpful definitely, but certainly need more things because their expectation will be definitely high when you are working with more than 2+ or 3+ of experience. But with this knowledge which you are gaining on this particular Tableau course, you will be able to work on that very easily. The rest of the things would be very much easier. So certainly whatever I will not be able to cover up, I'll just give you guidance what all you can learn in addition from the Tableau. So what we are unable to cover it. So if you wanted to cover all that and by learning by yourself in the later part, you can still do that. I'll give you the guidance of that, and also I'll provide you certain books, reference materials, whatever is required. I'll be sharing you all that which you can learn from this. Okay, so this is what we will be doing on the Tableau part. But certainly from my most importantly, we have covered, or like in these particular sessions, I try to cover maximum types of a charts. The maximum types of a charts that we can do it, I've tried to cover it. But still, day by day, the newer versions are coming up, the newer features are adding up. So that features we are not able to enable all that because Tableau is also very frequently like giving its new features and new updations of the tools. So that we have to learn by ourselves probably after once you're good with the tool. So this is what you have to do it, right? So now before we start, like what do you mean by Tableau? Anyone has any idea about it, they can share their thoughts so that we'll go ahead understanding more. Anyone know about a Tableau, or what is the need for having a Tableau tool, or what does Tableau do? Any of this, either all the questions are same, but anyone can answer related to whatever you feel like. Knowing much about Tableau can just let me know.
It's a visualization tool which is used to view the plots.
Okay, great. It is like a visualization tool which will be able to do some kind of a graphical representation, whether it could be charts, plots, or anything, right? So probably you have done your entire course here, so which you worked on R as well as Python and also the SAS. So where you have seen some kind of a visualizations there as well. On the SAS, you have seen the SAS graph. On Python, might have used the matplotlib, graphviz, and everything to create some visualizations. In R also, you might have created certain visualizations. Then why should we have these particular tools specifically, like a Tableau or any other visualization tools? Why do we need it again? Any reason? Is my question clear? Inspired, we had other programming languages where we can create different visualizations. Then why should we require these kind of tools once again to make the visualizations created? And this is not open source. Whereas the Python is an open source which we are able to work with the different library, Tableau is not an open source, it's a proprietary. But still, why should we depend on these particular tools?
These tools are helpful to directly read data and do the give the visualizations, give the plots.
Okay.
Rather than like in Jupyter, we have to write a code to view the plot.
Absolutely. So this is not a code dependent. No coding is required specifically to work on the SAS or Python or any other programming languages. In spite that particular tools or languages have their own programming, one has to know the programming of it. Then only they'll be able to work or create some kind of a visualization, right? Whereas this particular tool of Tableau doesn't require any kind of a programming. Here simply will just make a drag and drop of whatever the visualizations we wanted to create, very user friendly, very fastest, and the understanding or intuitive manner of explaining some kind of a reports would be much more simplified by these data visualization tools, right? So that's one of the major reason, right? So simply to say, Tableau is one of the visualization tool which will help us to create any kind of a graphical representations upon any kind of a data with no specific limitations that this data should be accepted from one or more sources. It can be from any other sources that we are getting it. So Tableau is by defaultly is accepting many databases data or any kinds of text files or any Excel sheet data, all are accepted by the Tableau. So from that, we can create any visualizations we want without writing a single line of code, and which is much more graphically appealing so that one can easily understand and one can even take a decisions with that visualizations, right? So here, as you can see, what is a Tableau? So what is data visualization and why data visualization? So obviously we have
Krishna,
just
one
yes.
question. Is it like for safety purpose also, for more security issues? Like we were using SAS, like you said, now that for banking transactions and all, we are using SAS. So does Tableau help in that also, or it can be used by regular users?
Regular users in the sense, like in your context of security, obviously this has a security because all the data sources wherever you are pulling it, like it is kept into the Tableau, and that datas are not populated easily from the Tableau unless they use the tool. So then they will only be able to work on that particular data and they'll only be able to visualize it. So as part of a security, yes, we have it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. But that is not only the feature we can say, but that might be one of the feature which the security is offered by these kind of tools. Yes. Okay. So here,
Security, we can, as it is not an open source, we can say that it's having some more security
more
towards
security
like
because
open
it is
source.
not a open source. Obviously, there is a high
And
security
in
with
that
these kind
sense,
of
we
tools.
can say that it is secured, right?
Sorry.
In that sense, we say that it is secured because it is not an open source tool.
Right.
Like with respect to open source tools, it is more secure.
This is more secured compared with the others. But as far as I'm known, like there is no specific data visualization tool which are open source, and that particular visualization tools which are open source are not commonly used as well. Not like even any other tools. Like this is not having any competitors from the open source. Specifically, the visualization tools do not have any competitors from the open source. Okay. Right. So here, coming to the what is data visualization? Just now we understood data visualization is nothing but a process of describing information through some visual rendering. So this is what we have just understood it. So visualization is in the sense keeping any kind of a data in the form of a graphical representation by creating some kind of a charts, graphs, even the maps also, and obviously applying some kind of a trends over the data and apply them onto the data to have some kind of a visualization to take a decision very easily. So that's what the visualization, we can understand it very simply. So why visualization is even taking the decisions much more faster than compared with any other. So obviously the visualization plays a very vital role in the real time. Looking into the numbers or looking into the values will be really very difficult. So in context to that, we can say the visualizations are really much helpful to take a decision and understand the data very rightly. So that's the reason we require a data visualization apparently compared with any other as a part of the understanding or any kind of an interpretation. Okay. So now the one of the most important term we need to understand is, just now we understood about what is a visualization, why visualization is required. So this is one simple example for visualization. So as you can see, all the numbers here looks very much similar, but when it comes to the visualization, it actually gives the real meaning of the output or real meaning of an understanding about the data. So numbers would be very much similar, but certainly when you put it into the visualizations, we know the differences when it is to be understood. So probably this is really playing a very major role. Okay. So before we go ahead, I just wanted to make you understand there is one more term which is required to understand called as a visual perception. So just now we understood about data visualization. There is one other term called visual perception. Can someone let me know about visual perception? What do you mean by visual perception? Anyone? What do you mean by visual perception? Why do we need it?
For analysis purpose.
For analysis purpose. Okay. Any other example?
After visualizing the data, actually we have to interpret that. We have to understand the data.
Okay. So we have to understand the data and we have to interpret that so that we can call it as a visual perception. Okay. So let's say I'll just give some one example. Based on that example, give me some kind of an answer for that. Not bouncing. So that is not a mathematical. Visual perception is something like different. Let's say I'll wanted to give some example. I'm one of the employee working with a company. Let's say I'm in a manager position. I wanted to understand what is a sale happened of a particular product in my company on a specific region. Sales of a product, and wanted to see what is a total sale happened on a particular region. So understanding this, which type of a chart or visualization will you prefer? Anyone? I have a sales,
Bar chart.
the bar chart. Why specifically bar? Any reason why you given the answer called bar?
I mean, we are using bar chart because there is no frequency.
Right.
So if frequency was the case, we would have used histogram. Or if we would have seen time period, then we would have used scatter plot
Right.
kind
Absolutely.
of thing.
Right. So if I
So
just
we are
add
using bar
something,
chart.
so sale in percentage, the same thing. I wanted to see the sale of a product, which you said the bar chart, absolutely right. For example, if this is considered to be a bar chart, let's say I agree this is 100% right. But when I say what is a percentage of sale happened over a region, so will the bar actually work in this particular scenario, or do you prefer any other type of a chart?
Pie chart we will.
You'll be using a pie chart. The reason why we said pie chart is whenever we say it's a percentages, the percentages can be easily represented using the pie chart, right? So what is that you're understanding? It's a distribution. So distribution of a data. So certainly whenever something is coming up to us, obviously you have an understanding that we have to go with this kind of a chart. So that we call it as a visual perception, right? So as these data are very simple, like sales and region, so percentages, distribution, scatter plot. So how we are able to think all that, that point you have to keep it in mind before you are going to prepare any kind of a graphical representation. So that we generally call it as a visual perception, because you have a tool. So this particular tool is very, very simple. The Tableau or any other tools like Power BI, ClickView, all these tools are really very much simple to use and learn. So probably if you just sit for a few days, like you'll be able to excel that particular tool. But certainly when you are creating as this, you might be aware, there is no involvement in any coding or something. Just by simple drag and drop, you're able to create all the different visualizations. But then what will you create it? If you just drag and drop all the fields, automatically, even the tool will suggest you some kind of a visualizations. But what type of visualization is appropriate? So that we need to take a decision. Obviously, when you are communicating with a client or any other members, so you should justify that this particular visualization is important for us to understand this particular data. So that visual perception we need to develop ourselves, so that any visualization that you're going to create, that you can make a justification that this particular data suits to have that visualization created. So that is what I call it as a visual perception. So what we are learning is obviously a tool just to make some kind of a visualizations, but visual perception will be always yours. So what type of data, what type of visualization you wanted to create, it is purely upon individual. Okay. So here You can see visualization at organization level. So do you call this as one single chart, or do you call this as a one single visualization, or do you call it as a collection? Looking into this, do you call it as a collection of different visualizations, or it is only one single visualization that you are able to show up in this? What can we call this by looking into this one? What can you
Collection.
call? It's a collection of, right? Collection of certain visualizations. We can keep it here. So just to have this word or a conversion of this particular term, or referring to this collection of different type of visualizations together, we can call it as a dashboard. So dashboard is always a collection of many things together, which should be intuitive, which means which should provide you some kind of an information looking into that. So in an organization level, these particular dashboards are really very important for everyone to understand. So as you can see, you can create a filtrations of any data that you wanted to look at just by making some changes. Obviously that gets reflected to every type of visualizations which you're going to create it. So at an organization level, so even this plays a very major role. So we also will be creating the dashboards. So certainly a dashboard is nothing but a collection of different types of visualizations together, and intuitive in the sense making some change over the data should be reflecting every other type of chart that you're going to create. So it should be an intuitive representation. This is not an image files. So what do you mean by image file? Whenever you're going to create a visualizations in SAS or in Python, you might have observed that it just creates a graph or any kind of a representation which you cannot see the values changed. It will be like a fixed values, whatever the type of chart or the program you have written, that will be fixed, which can be an image kind of thing. Whereas this could be intuitive. If you just place your mouse cursors anywhere, automatically the values will be displayed. Any changes are reflected from one chart will be reflected with the others. So that kind of an intuitive representation could be possible with the Tableau, right? So this is how we can work on the visualizations. So certainly visualizations plays a very vital role for taking a decisions, analysis, interpretation, and everything. So even these also requires certain part of data cleansing. So most probably we'll be working on the cleansing data or the cleansed data, but certainly few type of a cleansings could be possible on these particular tools. So if you have a question like, can we do the data preparation on the tool called Tableau? Specifically not, but a little or a basic kind of a data preparation can be done by eliminating the null values, or if you want, we can replace some values, but not a complete data cleansing can be done on this particular tool. Okay. So now let's understand more. So what we are going to do for a visualization. So obviously to do the visualization, we first need to explore the data. After the exploration, we go for analysis, and finally we move into the presentation. So these are the different phases which we'll be working on. So to explore the values, or we explore the data, to analyze and present it, we require these particular tools specifically for presentation of values using the Tableau. We are doing all that, right? And next is one of the most important and popular data. We find it on the internet sources. So visualization can help you to see a huge data in one single representation. So an example for that is, even in the internet, if you find 200 countries of data evaluation, if you just check it in the Google or somewhere, you'll be provided with the data right from the 200 years with all the countries. So this visualization which you're able to see can be made as a motion kind of thing. So which moves how the country was in a particular year, how it got developed, and how the companies got ruined because of some scenarios. All that you can even understand it from the one single visualization, we can say. So here, this particularly represents a 200 years of a data where every country was almost started with these kind of a quadrant, because before 200 years, all the countries were almost same. But later on, the developments, the different countries have moved to the higher quadrants where they have a huge evaluation of the changes on its economy, and many other factors made that particular countries to move ahead. So some countries had a problem, so they came down. So for example, like we had, now presently we are going through this corona, which makes some economic down for different countries. Similarly, if we are 100 years before, we had the Spanish flu, and we had different kind of problems, world wars and everything. So certain countries were unable to develop themselves, so where they have got stuck. So all these kind of an understanding of individual economic data can be easily understood by a single visualization like this. So you'll be like, you can get all these data, which you can try even working onto the Tableau later on to work with the huge data. This would be really helpful, right? So this is one of the example for that. So you can even try it later on how to work on this. So this is like the website called gapminder.org. You'll find the data over there. Okay, so all these visualizations are possible with the tools like Tableau. So now, what is a Tableau? So Tableau is one of the most popular tool for performing any kind of a data visualizations, and which can have any huge connections to the data sources without any limitation, and it can give a visualizations very faster compared with others, and it is very intuitive, interactive, and making them all together and creating certain dashboards are playing a very major role in the organizations, which is easy for someone to understand without having a huge knowledge about the data or some particular areas. So Tableau kind of tools are really helping them to do. So coming to the Tableau, do we have only the Tableau tool for visualizations? No, we have many other tools and competitors for this. So few of the competitors we have for Tableau are Power BI, the Microsoft product, and we have something called ClickView, ClickSense, and few other tools like Looker, and even the Zoho, like recently which came up in the market, Zoho Analytics, which is a purely a BI tool. So even Tableau is also BI tool. And we also have some other like SAP BO, Business Objects, Sisense, IBM's product is Cognos, as well as we also have few other like Domo and many other, Clipfolio, SAP Cloud Analytics, SAP BO, BI, Business Intelligence and Business Objects. So there are many other tools. So most of them are proprietary. There are some free open source, but I don't think so that all are really useful for the analytics or something. So these are some list of competitors. So one might have a question like, is only the Tableau will be giving a good opportunity? So for this, which I have understood from the industry is, whenever you are looking into some kind of an opportunity, most of the clients depend upon the costing. So Tableau is also one of the little bit expensive tool for working on that. So let's say if you're working on Tableau, then you might see good opportunities on Power BI. When you are started working on learning or using Power BI, then you might see opportunities on ClickView. When you started working on ClickView, again, it might be coming to the Tableau. So obviously, all these visualizations tool are playing a very common role in most of them. So based on the client, based on the opportunity, you will be having this scope of working with this visualizations tool. But certainly, if you're learning Tableau, Power BI would be simpler. If you're learning Power BI, like ClickView would be simpler. So obviously learning one of this tool will give you a good scope of working with any visualization tools. So now you have a question like, I've seen lot many opportunities for Tableau. What happens if I get it on the Power BI? So certainly we should be knowing all the different visualization tool, because everything works almost similar, right? So there, I have seen certain positions who made a career only in the Tableau developer, Tableau administrator, and many other. So certainly they are also having a good competitor called Power BI. Even they're also expanding very faster. And few limitations of a Tableau have been overcome by Power BI recently. So few of the other problems, and one of the best dashboard creation tool is the ClickView. So certainly we cannot have any end for comparing these particular tools. So obviously, like learning one tool will help you to learn the other tools also. So anyways, we are learning Tableau. I do also recommend you to learn any other tools like Power BI or ClickView if someone wanted to move into the visualizations. Okay, so this is what Tableau about. And coming to the next, it's one of the best tool we can say, a major competitor for the others. And in context to the very easy to work on it, and it has certain features like very speed in the market. Tableau is very easy to use. It works with the big data, and Tableau does on any kind of a data. This is what already we have discussed it. No specific limitation and only few data sources, not like that. We are working with any other of them, right? So it has very good visualization, stunning interactive and plottings. So Tableau is one of the best in the market, we can say. So these are all the features we have with the Tableau. Obviously, whenever we say the best features, obviously it also has some kind of a cons as well. So high cost, inflexible pricing, poor after sales, and most of these, whatever I have listed here, they have overcome with the very new features and few versions of it. They have overcome with many other problems. So earlier it used to have the security issues, but that have been overcome very recently with the very few or the very recent versions which came in the market. So poor versioning, so that was also overcome. Earlier it used to give the versions very late. Now you are getting all the versions very frequently with all the updations and many features or many types of graphs that can also be enabled from the few newer versions of it. So these are some list we got it, but most of them have been overcome by the Tableau very recently. Okay, right. So next is, this is one of the most important point to remember. So understanding about a product suite. So product suite here consists of the 5 types of Tableau products we have. The first 2 we call them as a developer tools. The other 3 are called as a sharing tools. So what is the developer tools we have? One is the Tableau desktop and other is the Tableau public. So these 2 are considered as the developers tool. So any visualizations that you wanted to develop, these 2 tools will help you to create all that. So desktop is a full version or an enterprise version, we can say, where it has to be purchased. The costing would be around the personal edition is around $30 per user and $70 per enterprise one per month. This is, and the public is a free version which can be used by anyone, which is a free version available provided by the Tableau, but certainly the limitations is you cannot work with all the visualizations. Probably if you can still work on it, there is a limitation of the data sources. So you cannot connect with all the data sources except very few. But now you might have a question, if I wanted to use a desktop version, how can we use it? Yes, we can use it. You can download and install, which will be giving you a 14 days free trial. So you can have the 14 days free trial. After that, again, it will be asking you to renew it. Again, if you're getting a very newer version, then you can again install a newer version, which will again work for 14 days. But if you wanted to go for it, you have to go for the license. So that is the only option. Or else the best way to is, if you wanted to work for a longer time, stick on to the free version where you can work with all the visualizations, but only restricted with the data sources. So if you're having only specific data sources for working on it, so then preferably go for public. So now you might have a question, which one you have to use? So what I recommend is, as you're new to it, I recommend to install both of them. So you can parallelly install both together. There is no problem. But anyways, you can explore all the 14 days with all these tools and what all options you have. Anyways, you'll be in the learning stage now. You'll try to explore as much as possible. So I recommend you to go with the desktop. Probably at the parallel, download the public version also. So if something is not working on this desktop version, then you can directly switch on to the free one. So what is the limitations? Already I've discussed it. There are few more limitations that desktop version can store all your different types of Tableau files, whereas free one, you have to log into the Tableau server and you can save all your visualizations to your server only. So this is from, like we can say, this is a local saving of your files. This is not local, this is to the server, right? So this is the 2 tools which we are going to use it now. So parallelly you can work on both. So once after I complete few more slides, I have the links for that. I'll share you the links. You guys can start downloading it. You can install it. So one who has already installed it, that version will not open or work now. You have to download with the latest version. so which is hardly around 400 MB of files. So it will not take longer time. So you can even do that parallelly. So one who is looking into the presentation, after a few slides, you have the links. You can even click that, or else I'll share that in the chat box. Right. The next three are called as the sharing tools. So we call this as the sharing. The first two are called as the developer tools. The rest of the three are called as the sharing tools. So what is a sharing tool? So whenever I've created certain visualizations using the Tableau desktop or Tableau public, so that can be viewed by someone who do not have any kind of a tools with them. They can go with the very basic tools like Tableau online for viewing the report or viewing the visualization, or a Tableau server used at an organization level, and Tableau reader just to view that particular visualization, like an Adobe reader to open a file. So Tableau reader is a open source, or like, let's say, sorry, freeware from the Tableau, where you can open all the visualizations. So these visualizations are intuitive. Intuitive in the sense, if you place your cursor, you'll have the value represented. So that kind of a representations, if you wanted to view it, you have to open it using the sharing tools only, or else it would be created or opened as a image, which will not be able to understand all the visualizations properly. So that's the reason we require these particular tools. So please remember, desktop and public are developer, online server and reader are for reading purpose or sharing purpose, right? So this is about the product suite of Tableau we have.
Krishna, we will be downloading this online server reader also.
No, not required, because we are already viewing everything from the desktop and public. The people who wanted to view the visualization, if they do not have any of these tools, then not required for them to go for it. They can just directly use any of these tools only for viewing purpose, where they'll not have any chance of developing or do something upon that particular visualizations once again. So anyone wanted to make some changes to that visualizations, they require these tools. No, if they are just only supposed to see the visualizations, only these particular tools are sufficient. We are not working with any of these tools, not required at all, because this is developer as well as viewing. The people who are not developing, if they generally wanted to view, then they can go for these three, either of them. Normally the server is used at organization level. Is it clear? Cool.
Okay, Krishna. So Krishna, in the organization server, I mean, they're just using the analysis. That is why they're using Tableau server. I mean, desktop and public, whatever the developers are making changes in desktop or public, right?
See, let's say now you are a developer. You have developed everything on a desktop version. Let's say you wanted to represent something to a client, and client also wanted to have that visualization seen by themselves, not having a dependency on a developer or someone. So what they do, you have presented your representation from the Tableau desktop, but even in the organization, a client wanted to see them, however your colleagues or any other subordinates wanted to work on it, just for the visualization purpose, not by making any changes, then they can go for it. As in the organization, there will be a lot many people who might be working on that particular visualization. They generally go for a server. Okay. Or else they can even go with the online and reader also, but still server is used for organization purpose with more flexibilities and more features and security purpose. That's it. That is only for reading purpose.
Okay.
No development or changes will happen to your visualization, which is created from the desktop. That's the difference.
Okay. And one more thing, Krishna, when we are Tableau developer, in the sense like we are coding and developing the tool,
No.
or is it like we are just playing with the data?
We are
I
just
mean,
only
for the
working with the
visualization.
visualizations. You're nothing you're doing with the coding part. There is no coding part in this at all.
Okay. I mean, I've heard this term many times, Tableau developer. So I get confused whether they are developing the tool from the scratch or something. They are
No,
making
nothing
changes.
like that. There are two opportunities generally. There is something called as a Tableau developer and Tableau admin. Okay, so Tableau
Okay.
developer will be working on the visualizations part on the tools like Tableau desktop or public, whereas admin would be one who will be managing all the number of users and the Tableau related product by the administrator. So there are different opportunities for that. So there will be no one developing a tool. Certainly the people who are working with the Tableau company for making some changes to that tool, they would be working on the coding or upon the tool. As a user, now we are working only for the visualizations, making the help of the tool. That's it. We are not doing anything
Okay.
to the tool. Okay.
And same works with the SaaS also, na? Like opportunities come as SaaS developer. So SaaS developer, I mean, same, na? They are
Same.
just
The
using that tool.
SaaS programmer is using the SaaS tool to develop a functionality or a feature or do some kind of a project implementation for your organization. So the people who are developing the new version of a tool or new features of a tool, they work for SaaS, and that particular tools and any products which will be coming in the market are done by the SaaS people, not we. We work on the SaaS tool. That's it. Right?
Okay, Krishna.
Okay. So fine. So this is about the product suite which I've discussed about. The same information is even provided in the other slides. What is a developer tool? What is the sharing tool? So what is this desktop version, public version, and server online, as well as reader. So I've put some kind of a description to them. You can even go through that later. Right? So this is something about the Tableau architecture. So one of the important point to understand how this Tableau architecture actually works. So as you already know, the 3-tier environment. So the 3-tier here also is almost similar for the Tableau environment is a 3-tier, which one of the environment or the one of the tier we have is the presentation, logical, as well as the database. So as you can see, at the lowest granularity of database layers, it is listed out with any type of a data, whether that could be from a flat files or any other files or any databases here or any kind of a major databases which even does supported by the Tableau to pull all the data from any kind of a source. So that is the lowest level where you can get all the data accepted by the Tableau. But when it is coming to the next layer called a logical layer, so in this logical layer, we certainly have many things involved in it. But the only point to remember is, as this is purely a Windows and Mac version, not a Unix version tool. So this has been implementing its particular security management, cache, repositories, all these at the backend by the logical layer. And certainly anything which gets the data from here and that to be converted to the visualizations, there is something at the backend with no help of coding. All these visualizations are created at a backend by something called VizQL, VIZQL, Visualization Query Language. So whatever the SQL queries you generally execute the same way, this kind of a VizQL, visualization query language, will help you to convert your datas and the type of presentation you wanted to do, the type of charts you wanted to create it. Every time the backend with the help of VizQL, you'll be able to generate all that. So obviously there are some kind of a data servers, data connectors, which are working at a backend to make your representation, making it very simpler without running any code. All this will be done at a backend from the visualization that is onto the logical layer. So the visualizations without writing any code is done by its architecture built with VizQL for that. So only term to remember here is VizQL, where every time you drag and drop something, a query would be executed at a backend. That query in terms connects to your data sources from the data connectors, and all the rest of operations happen in this logical layer, right? So probably once after you get your data created and your data are visualized, then you can even use any other users can use a Tableau servers or any basic readers or any other product to have that visualization done or seen easily. So that's how the backend of this tool with the architecture is completely built. And this is purely upon the Windows and Mac edition, not on the Unix. You don't have Unix or Linux editions for the Tableau, right? So the point to remember here is VizQL and data connectors, right? So here is the information related to the difference between the Tableau Desktop and Tableau Public. So the pricing here, this is a little bit of older. So but this, I hope the same pricing is still there. So personal edition for $35 per month and professional edition $70 per month. Public is free. Any kind of data sources are accepted, connects to only few sources like Excel sheets or text files. No other sources are accepted. So here you can publish and save all your files to your local machine, whereas it has to be saved to your public profile on your server. So this is again a Windows and Mac. This is also same. And here the visualizations are secured, whereas this is not a secured because everything will be kept in a public. So this is for professional work. This is for personal level. And the data extracts you have are unlimited and the sources can be anything. Here it is having a limited way of storing the data and accessing the data and all other limitations we have with the Tableau Public. Right? For the learning purpose, we can even work on the Tableau Public, not much having a huge difference in between these two. Right? So these are the links which we have. The first link is about the Tableau Public. The second link is about the Tableau Desktop. So I recommend to use any of them. If you guys wanted to install both, can do that. No, if you wanted to do it one at a time, you can either go for it. It is up to you. Okay. I'm just sharing the link from your chat box. So please go through that. Or else someone is using a presentation who is looking to the presentation can even click from there itself. Right? So whenever, like whoever is interested to install any of the version, they can use it. I'm using a Tableau Public because for me there is no license which I have with me. So I'm supposed to use only the Tableau Public. So we do not have any difference. So anyone who wanted to use, they can use either of them. I recommend to go with public, but even Tableau Desktop can also be explored. Okay. So everyone guys, please start downloading them, which is almost like approximately 400 MB, which will not take longer time to download. So keep them downloaded. So if you have downloaded, you can just start installing. Very simple to install just by next. Nothing huge in installation process. Okay. So please.
Okay.
Yes, Rahul.
For public, they are asking like download the app and they are asking a mail ID.
Any mail ID you can give it. There is like they'll be generally asking for a business mail ID. So no business mail ID is required. Any mail ID, email ID, valid email ID is required. That's it. So when you click on it, they'll be asking for enter your email address. So the latest version is 2021.1. Okay. So this is the latest version. Just give some email ID, which will be asking you to download the app. You can install it. I do also please recommend one who is using or downloading a public version, please sign up for that, or else you'll not be able to post or anything that you wanted to save as visualizations, you'll not be able to do them. So simply a name, valid email ID, the password, that's it. So it will be creating your profile. So everything gets saved onto your profile only. So I recommend everyone to please create your signups as well. Okay. Even in the desktop version also, it will be asking for a basic email ID. Just provide it and try to do the sign up. For public, it's mandatory. For desktop, it is not mandatory at this point of time. So please do that while you're installing. Okay. So please let me know once you have started your downloads, so that I'll be covering the rest of the presentation.
Krishna, hi
Yes.
Krishna.
Yes, Rule.
For desktop version also we need to sign in.
For the desktop version, it is not mandatory to sign up, but for the public version, it is mandatory. Better
Public
use it.
one.
Better
Okay.
have a sign up for both of them. Anyways, it will be useful later also. Just have a sign up so that it will be good. It will not take much time.
Okay. So these are like developer versions we are downloading, right?
Yes, these both are
Desktop
called as a
and
desktop and public. Both are developer tools.
and they are giving us few options like login to tableau.com, Tableau Online, custom portal, Tableau Public. When we open that link,
It is not
the
required for
desktop
all, right?
version.
No, that is all not required. So only tablet desktop, just try and install it. Prashant, yes, it will ask for restart. See if that you can skip it, or if it is mandatory, then you have to go for it. Is there any option to skip the restart, or is it asking for restart for sure? Okay, then you have to restart, or else it will not be able to set up as an administrator. Okay, fine. Everyone is in the same state. Started installation. How many of you are done with the installation? Asking for restart. Prashant, go for restart. No problem. We'll wait for a few minutes. Everyone, let's make the mission ready. So probably we have few more slides to cover off. So that we'll understand in few minutes. Then we'll start with the working on the tool. So it is mandatory. Not now, at least after a few minutes also you have to restart and do that. So everyone who have started installation, if it is prompting for restart, please go for it. We'll wait. Not a problem.
Krishna, they are also asking for public one. That send usage data. We need to tick that, na?
Not required role.
Okay, I tick that. Do not send. They were asking, so I just ticked that.
Not problem. Not a problem. It is not very important for that.
Okay.
Not a mandatory field.
And for this desktop, the link which you have shared, they are actually asking for tableau.com, login to tableau.com, Tableau Online, custom portal. 6 options they are giving actually.
No role. Will not be getting all that options. If you're
Just
going
check,
for
see, I've shared this. When I'm clicking the desktop one, then I'm getting this option.
Is others getting the same thing for Tableau login? Any others?
Still installation is going on.
Okay. The people who already installed, are you getting these kind
Public,
of
it is
login?
fine for desktop.
Not sure it will be not be asking all this generally.
So, just click on that desktop one, just copy that link once, and just check once. For public, it is asking for restart.
Public, it will ask for restart. So
Restart, yeah.
because I don't have a login registered because it is expired. So I am blacklisted to this. It will not connect to it.
Can I share my screen with you? Maybe that will be.
Okay, fine. I'm giving you permission. Yes, real. You can share it.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen? Desktop map corporate.
Still not. I'm not unable to see. All right. I'm able to see now.
Okay. This is a desktop link I have copied. sign in.
Okay.
And I'm clicking on this sign in. I'm directed to that page.
Oh, okay. So this one you are clicking in not on. Okay, okay. Please go back. Okay. You can just click on the try it for free. Try it
Download
for
free
free.
trial.
No, no, no. Download free trial. You have to go for that. Sign in is not required because
Or
if you
try
have to
it.
sign in, try it for free or anything. Both are same. Try it for free. So that will be giving you a 14 days free trial. Now give some kind of
Okay.
like give some email which will be 14 days free trial. In the Tableau desktop, if you're asking
Okay.
for a sign in, then obviously it will be asking for a valid licensed one, so that it is expected to. So you can click on the beside one, download free trial. You'll be getting the desktop edition.
Oh, I mean, it is not required signing for
No,
this.
no, no, no. For this one, it is not required. For public, it is required.
So first I will let this get installed, and then this public is asking for restart. Then I'll click on restart.
Okay. So
Is
everyone
it, or shall I restart?
restart it. No problem. We can wait for a few minutes. Any others who wanted us to restart your mission meanwhile can even do that, guys. So already we have installed
Thanks,
it.
Krishna. And
We'll wait because we wanted our mission ready within few minutes. So obviously some others who are using for the public, they have to restart it. So everyone restart and make it ready. So that we'll try to. Anyways, we have to go with the very
Till
basic
now, it
one
has
today.
not prompted for restarting.
I think you have used for desktop version, right? For the desktop, I don't think so. It will be asking for a restart. The one who is installed the public version is asking for a restart. There is no other alternative to skip that. They have to restart it.
So still my installation is going on. The
Okay,
desktop
please do
version.
it. Please do it. No worries. We still have time. Anyways, obviously we still have like 4:30 to finish it off. I have to complete this presentation, which will require at least 15 more minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. After that, we'll try to open the
You can
Tableau.
continue with the presentation meanwhile the
The people are
installation goes on
restarting now.
because
You can see the Prashant who is restarting. There are a few guys who are restarting. They'll be missing up. Just wait for a few more minutes. We'll go ahead. Or else, guys, take a break for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the others get ready.
Is there any limit for dashboard? I mean, how many number of visualizations we can have on a dashboard?
No specific limitation for as such.
How many visualizations we can keep on a dashboard?
How many visualizations is based on the type of visualization you are displaying it. So if you keep on pasting everything on a dashboard, that dashboard will be supporting the number of worksheets on it, but it should be representative to someone to show if you're putting all the 100 together in that. So that should have some space to represent all the 100 together. So it is mandatory that dashboard should be convenient enough to display someone. But as such, there is no exactly limitation we can do it for a dashboard.
Okay.
Okay. But the tables or the data that is accepted by Tableau is 32.
32 tables.
32 tables will be the limitation.
Okay.
If someone want to take a break, can take a break for 5 minutes and get back. Because we have them theoretical still to cover, understanding it. Okay. And then after we have to work with today we'll be able to work with only some basic visualization. We can't even start with the basic charts also. Right, guys. Everyone done? Can I go ahead?
Hello, Krishna.
Yes, yes.
Krishna, actually, it is asking for some registration. I have restarted my system
Mm-hmm.
for desktop.
Okay.
So they are asking for business email, authorization, then start free trial. Now, do I need to do that?
If it is restricting, generally it will not be restricting that. But if it is asking for a restriction, then you have to provide that. Not any business email, not any common email, like your regular email is enough for us to do.
Okay. I mean, it is downloaded for me. Can I check that whether it is downloaded properly or not? Is there any way?
No, we are able to open the tool.
Public, I'm able to open, and they're asking open from Tableau Public, Microsoft Excel text file they've given,
Mm-hmm.
and desktop also option is there, 64-bit something .exe.
No. Have you installed the Tableau desktop? So are you able to open it?
They're asking me for some registration actually. Public, I'm able to open.
Okay, anything is fine. Like public is also sufficient. No worries that it is not installed or not opened with the desktop. You can just even check it later on.
Okay.
Fine. So any others? Everyone open like installed, right? Okay. So Bowsing, I've already shared you the data set, which you can even directly get it from the software only. But anyone who's facing a problem with the data set to open, I'll show it later. But I also shared in my email, whichever I've shared you the all these slides and other materials. So there itself I've shared the data also. Anyways, I'll show you once after we are done with this presentation. Okay. Right, guys. So this part of a presentation is really very important. So please, everyone, try to look into this one. So hope everyone's installation is run and the software is open. So, but still, you have time to work, or you have time to do any further installation if you are not completed it. But please look into this presentation once. Once after this is done, we'll generally we can then go for the tool, right? So please say this. What would we like to show? So this is one of the most important point to understand. So already we have discussed something called visual perception. What type of data you can have it? You can have any type of data with you. So certainly not only having the data is important, but certainly any type of a data, what visualization you wanted to make it as a part of your understanding, that perception is very much important. So most of you have answered whether if it is a distribution data, what type of a charts, whether it is having some kind of a relationship, what type of a charts. So this will help you to take a decision which chart would be appropriate. So first we'll talk about the comparison. So if you are having any data for comparison, if it is among many items, so then we can generally go for the vertical charts, or else if it is having a many categories, then we can even go for let's say stacked bars or embedded charts. And if it is for few categories, then we can go for horizontal bar charts or even vertical, but certainly limiting to some number. So if you have a data to be represented with hundreds of values, so then probably this will not be sufficient. If you're having a limited categories, then go for the horizontal charts, which you can have the more of the labeling that can be visualized very easily on these vertical bars. But when it is coming to the comparison over the time period, then if you have many time periods or many periods, you have can go for a cyclical data, that is some kind of a circular area charts, or else for the non-cyclical data, the line charts would be more appropriate. Still, you can prefer the bar charts, but with many categories, you can go with multiple lines. Again, if you have many categories, too many categories, then it is difficult for going for a line, but certainly limited to few periods and few categories, then this would be appropriate. So what type of all this data is? It is for the comparison data you have. Then it comes to distribution. So if it is a single variable,
Krishna, one question.
yes,
This bar chart also helps us for time analysis, time
yes,
series analysis. I
yes,
mean,
yes,
uh,
but not
okay, but
too
how
many
it will
time.
do? Because it has some width.
No, not for too much
I
of
mean,
time period. For example, let's say you're taking 5 years or 10 years of data, the bar charts is not appropriate. So if you're just only taking for 1 year
okay.
or 3 months or 6 months, like let's say first quarter, second quarter, so that would be good to display. If it is, for example, you're working on a particular month of January, what is the sale? For a Feb, what is the sale? So only for little
Okay,
time
okay.
period, that would be good. So let's say if I say this is a graph for like January, for a Feb month, this is a sale happened, this is March, something. But if you're taking a time period
Okay.
from 2015 to 2021, so obviously that would not be an appropriate.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay. And one more thing, in the bar chart, we have some width. So that will be useless now for visualization purpose.
That will
I
be
mean, if we take for time series,
no. If it is,
that is why I think for,
that is
yeah,
what,
yeah, please
like if
tell.
you're taking for a longer period of time, the bar's width, even if it is very lean, still that will not be sufficient to
Mhm.
display in one particular chart. So that would not be an appropriate actually. So then it would not be good. So then you can go for a line chart.
Line chart. Yes.
Okay.
And what is this cyclical and non-cyclical data?
Which one? Cyclical
They
is
have
like
mentioned,
this
no?
one. Okay. This one you're talking about. The cyclical and non-cyclical.
Yeah, they have mentioned cyclical and non-cyclical. They mentioned.
Okay. So cyclical is something like you have started your data from January till December. Okay. So if you wanted to observe what is the changes that you are observed for each individual time period. So then it started with the first quarter. This is second quarter. This is third quarter, and this is fourth quarter. Okay. Rule. This is first quarter. This is second
Okay.
quarter. This is third quarter. This is fourth quarter. So we call it as a
Okay. And again, it
cyclical.
will repeat with first quarter, then
Right.
second
It
quarter.
will
Means
repeat with
yearly wise, there are 4
year,
quarters.
year wise.
Okay, okay,
Everything is
ठीक
an
है.
year wise, but you're comparing with the different types of quarters on a time period, cyclic period. Whereas a line chart started from January, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, again December, but it is not cyclical. We are not coming back to it again. So this is non-cyclical. That's it.
Okay, okay, ठीक है.
Right. Right.
Thanks.
The next one is a distribution. So if it is for a single variable with few data points, the bar and histogram. So someone said like if it is a frequencies, then we can go with the histograms. For many data points also, line histograms and scatter plots would be appropriate. So this is for different types of a distribution data, we can go for it. And next one is about the composition. So if you're having a composition of a data, that is nothing but changing over time. For fewer periods, obviously the stacked bars. This is not a single bar chart. This is a stacked bar representing multiple factors or multiple differences between the data. We can go for the stacked bars. Probably relative and absolute differences. Again, the stacked bar charts are relevant or mostly appropriate for it. But for many time periods, for observing them, rather than having a stacked bars, we can go for stacked area. So here you might have a question, what is stacked 100% area and stacked area? Almost the same, but you can observe that 100% represents the entire screen is occupied, whereas only as some kind of an areas are occupied, we can call it as a stacked area. 100% is representing them in the whole, the complete chart would be consumed or used. We can say 100%, right? Out of which, that is difference between the 100% and like using the basic kind of a bar charts. So here we call it as a stacked bars or stacked areas. So onto the composition, if it is something like a static area, then we can go for that is over the percentages or representing something. We can go for pie charts or waterfall or even the tree maps stacked with components and subcomponents. So all these kinds of charts, we can go with the other part of a composition. So generally, where you wanted to look into the percentages, then pie, waterfall, all these would be appropriately required for us to go with the composition data. Okay. And lastly, we'll see with the relations. This is very much commonly known, like the relation using the scatter plots or bubble charts. Like for example, gender, male and female, represented with a scatter plot. Any other more variables, then we can go for a scatter plot with bubbles. So all these representations, you can make it. So this visualization, that whatever you wanted to create it, this one you can just keep it in mind. So what would you like to show? So this will really help you out much as per the data. Take your own understanding about the data, then you can go with the different types of visualizations here, right? So that is what important to understand from this presentation. Please remember this one, right?
For time series, which visualization will be more suitable?
For time series, mostly we go for line chart, or area chart. Line chart is more appropriate for the time series. Okay. Anyways, we'll try to work on the different. We'll be working with one data, but I've tried to cover on the different types of charts. So most of them are covered. So you can work with any other types of data also, but you'll try to understand along with the tool what type of data and what type of visualization we are creating it. So you might have a question: is this the only way to visualize? No, definitely not. But probably one way of representing, we are creating one chart. So you can prefer any other types of a charts. We'll work all that. So we'll be working with all the basic charts, advanced charts, all that we'll be doing. So today it will not be possible. So probably in the next week, we'll try to cover up all that. Okay. So this is how the tool looks like. Tableau Desktop or Public looks very much similar. So please remember these terms or terminology, or like to understand the tool very much easier. So the one which you can see at the right side, the one which we see at the right side here, which we generally call it as a worksheet. Okay. Or we can also call it as a canvas, where all our visualizations would be displayed or created here. Okay. And this is one more shelf we have called as a mark shelf or marks card, where you have certain options like changing the color to your graphs or sizes of your graph, adding some kind of a text, some details here, details of a chart that can be understood here, some tooltip, everything that you can see, we call it as a marks card. And there is something else called as a filter shelf in this, so which is required for us to filtering some data or some kind of a filtrations over the huge data to be filtered. We require this particular filter shelf. And there is something called as a page, which we'll be using it for working in depth with any particular variable, which we'll be discussing this later. But remember this particular up on the side of the canvas, we have some area where we can have this marks card, filter shelf, and the page shelf. And towards the complete left, we have something called as a dimension shelf. This is one of the very important part to understand. So once the data is loaded to the Tableau, all the variables or the values or the columns will automatically get bifurcated. For all your character values will be stored as a dimensions. So it is a dimension shelf we have, and all the numeric data will have a conversion of converting that particular variables to measures, which will be storing into the measure shelf. So these two shelves are the major shelves. We'll understand more about it, but remember there, dimensions are nothing but a categorical data, measures are nothing but a numerical values we have, right? And probably we have something called sets and parameters. Let's see if we can cover off this, or else I'll provide you the information related to this set and parameters later. Okay, so we'll be working with the data, and we can also perform some kind of analytics. Even let's see if this can be possible for us to work or not. And with the very top, you can see it's a menu bar where all the menus are almost similar to the Windows operating system: file, data, worksheet, dashboard. These are all very much familiar with Windows. Few of the menu bar here, like a dashboard or some tabs, are new to us. We'll be working on all them. And the one other is like we have a toolbar. So this toolbar will help us to work with very easier and very faster way to work with the tool with these tools, right? So this is how the look like of a Tableau desktop or a Tableau public version would be. So on this we'll be working it off, right? Please remember this terms: what is a canvas, what is a dimension, what is a measure, all that, what is a marks card. so that when you're working on the tool, it will be easy for you to identify. Let's say, sure, Prasan, I'll do that. I'll just check it. Once I'll try to open that link. Well, I'll check with that and I'll share you. Okay. If that link is not working, I'll just update it. Just give me some time. Fine. Okay, guys. So this is a tool. Please remember this terminology: dimensions, marks, and everything. So which will be
Krishna, what is this page shelf?
right. That's what we'll be discussing when we are working with the tool. So filtration is used for
Okay.
filtration, and page is
Yeah,
required
yeah, I got
for
it.
some kind of a paging. So now if I say it's some what is a paging, then you'll not be able to understand. When we are working with some of the
Okay,
examples,
okay.
I'll explain about what is a page, what page does.
And then at the okay. And at the bottom, sets and parameters shelf we will discuss
This
later.
we'll have to do, like as part of our curriculum, we do not have this to be covered. Let's see if time permits, we'll try to cover it. Or else at least I'll give you a description regarding this. What is the sets and parameters?
Okay, okay.
Okay.
ठीक है.
I'll
Is
try
it
to do that.
like I mean dimensions is character, measures is numerical. This
That's
is
it.
I mean we are just doing changes in that. Is it called sets and parameters?
No. That is completely different. You don't, when you open a tool, you don't see the sets and parameters at all. We have to create this. Okay. So sets
Okay,
and
okay.
parameters are created by a user, which we do not directly see it on a tool. So this requires some kind of an understanding. Let me show you. If possible, we'll try to work with an example also. Okay. So let me see, because how much of time we have. Based on the time, I'll just need to go for it. Okay. Or else if the
Okay,
time
sure.
is not permitted, I will, at least I'll give you one example for that at the end of the course.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So the same, whatever I've just explained it to you all. So there is a menu bar, tools bar, dimension, shelves, and everything. I provided description. You can even go for it for more understanding. Right? The marks card, worksheet. So whatever the canvas I said, it's called as a worksheet. So worksheet or canvas, both are same. The terminology is same. Right? So now let's get started with the Tableau. So before we still start off, we just need to remember and understand these data types of Tableau and their representations. So please just see this carefully. So these are the different data types supported by the Tableau are the string value represented with an icon called AB. There is a date value represented with some kind of a calendar kind of representation. Date and time period, that is a timestamp. If you have a timestamp, the representation for that is a calendar with a clock kind of thing. Any numerical values represented with an hashtag. Okay. So numbers, anything which is represented, whether that could be a decimal places or a whole number or anything, is represented with an hashtag. Any Boolean values with T or F, true or false. Any geographical data or anything which is related to the maps, we have something called as a geographical values are represented with a globe kind of icon. So these icons will help you to understand and remember the data very easily to pick from. So all of them are maintained and managed by the Tableau itself. We have nothing to do with it, but these are the supported data types of a Tableau. Okay. So again, coming back to this. So whenever you connect it, any data to the Tableau, they'll be divided into the dimension measures. So dimensions are nothing but the categorical value. The measures are the numerical data. Please remember that. Okay. So this is automatically done by the Tableau itself. We have nothing to do with it. So it will be done at a backend by the Tableau. Right. So next point is very important, like understanding about a measure names and a measure value. Please remember this. We'll be working it on them very shortly. So there is something called as a measure names created by the Tableau and measure values also created by the Tableau. So what is that? A measure names and measure values are the two fields created in a Tableau by default. So these fields are created at the data set imported into the Tableau. So measure name consists of all the names of measure present in a data set. It always present at the end of a dimension list. It consists of a discrete value for all the measure names. Whereas measure values are present at every data set again, kept it in the bottom of every field called as a measure values. It always present at the measure list here. Here we can have the continuous values of all the measures, which we call it as a measure values. So mostly a collection of all the numerical variables or numerical columns data collectively together, we call it as a measure values. All the categorical data of any categorical variables are collectively called as a measure names, right? So please remember this. We'll be probably working with that within shorter time. And one of the last point to remember is,
Krishna, can you please repeat once more that measure name and measure value?
see, measure names are nothing but a collection of all these particular columns. Probably not everything. Certain all the columns are collectively created by the end of a measure list is nothing but a measure name. Here we have all the discrete values of the data. Whereas measure names are a collective of all these particular columns or the fields as a measure values, which will have the continuous values in them. Okay. A simple way to say is collection of all these fields together called as a measure names. Collection of all the numerical columns are called as a measure values. That's it.
Krishna, you told that we had dimensions. So that
Hmm.
measure names and dimensions are same.
Same. Measures is nothing.
Oh, okay,
Dimension
okay.
is a categorical. Okay.
Yeah.
Dimension is a categorical, measures is a numerical. So collection of all the categorical data is measure names. Collection of all the numerical data is measure values. That's it. Which is not created by us,
That is
it
why I
is
got
created
confused.
by the Tableau itself at the end of it. So one other point to remember is
Oh,
measure names are discrete, measure values are continuous.
okay.
Okay. That's it.
So we will going forward. We'll call we will refer as dimensions or
We'll
measure
refer as
names.
we'll refer it as a dimensions and measures, both. So if I say
Achha, dimensions
pick this
and
particular field for measures, so you have to look into the measures area where you'll have that numerical column in that. So we'll be referring to the
okay.
dimensions and measures only. So we'll not be working every time with the measure names and measure values. That's just a point to remember. That's it.
Okay. That is why I got confused.
Okay. Not a problem. Okay. Right. So next one is connecting to the data. So here to connect to the data sources, we have all the different sources that are accepted. So Excel, databases, and cloud. So one who is working with the public, we work only with the the data, so like Excel or text values, CSV files, only that. So when you're connecting it, there is something that you will be able to see called a live and extract. Please remember this. Anyways, when we are working, I'll be showing it there. The people who are working on the public don't have this option. The people who are working with the desktop, they'll be seeing something called as a live and extract. So live is something when your Tableau server or your Tableau is connected to a live database. So any changes that happen to the data on a particular database get reflected if it is a live connection, right? So values are changed or updated. So that gets reflected here along with the representation that you have created is a live connection. Extract is a data extracted from an Excel file, probably might be an Excel file or a CSV file, which is not having any live updates onto the data. This we can call it as an extract file, and no modifications further happen because there is no updations are happening to this file. So simply we can say this is a file data, and that can be a live data directly extracted from a database. So this is what we have, this connection called live and extract of the data connections from the Tableau. Okay. And next one is, please go through this. There is something called a data interpreter. So please everyone go through these statements, read them. So with no column names and lot of nulls, data interpreter stripes out them and the columns are properly identified. So there is an option called data interpreter. If you just check it on, so by default any specific columns, if it is having any null values, are striped off or replaced with some value. So certain, as I said there could be some kind of a data cleansing that can happen over your data if you just have this data interpreter with your Tableau, it will be by default there. If you just check on this kind of a null values or any other missing values are replaced or can be eliminated if you wanted to. So that is taken care by a data interpreter. Okay. The next one is a pivot. So pivot merges the information of the original columns and the rows of it to new columns. So which will be able to create a pivoting. So you'll be able to pivot it. So there is one option called metadata grid, useful for the view of a large data of files when tables have been joined. So this specifically works with a joins kind of thing, where the metadata grid would be taking care of all that. So other one is the basic split options, or we can say it's a functions, which will help you to split your columns with some delimiters or split it into one or more columns, or a custom splitting. A individual field can be customizedly split. For example, let's say you have some column called full name. I wanted to split that particular column with custom names, like let's say the first name column, the last name column. I wanted to split it. We can call it as a custom split. From the full name, we can do it. So all these things you can create from the Tableau with this data preparation. So one we might be using it as a split, the other you might be using it as a data interpreter. If your data is not a cleansed data, they can go for it. But for us, it doesn't require all that, but still you can remember for working any other data which are null values or something for cleansing part. Okay. And the next one is what just now I've shown you an example. Let's say you're reading some Excel sheets data and you can use this data interpreter. So if you just click on this with the data interpreter, you can see there are some null values of it are replaced with some other character, or you can even stripe out if you wanted to. So that kind of a data interpreter works actually at the time of data reading. Okay. And next is saving and publishing. So the most important part for the people who are working with the public version, when you wanted to save it, if you just click on the save button from the Tableau public, it will directly get connected to your Tableau server that is on anywhere like a Tableau website. So all your whatever the files you are going to create will be saved onto the Tableau profile what you have created it. So upon there itself you'll be having your Tableau profile, and from there it will be just getting connected and saving all your files to that. Whereas the people who are working with the Tableau desktop, everything can be locally saved, whether it could be a C drive, D drive, whatever the drive it is, it will be getting saved onto that, and you can open your file from the Tableau wherever you are doing it. So no restrictions of usage of files. So publishing can be done, and even you can just even save it, open it from the Tableau desktop itself. So now the most important part will be working again is, please remember this. Most of the interviewers will be asking it, even in the certifications you get these questions. Even most of them who wanted to know what type of files you are going to share from the Tableau, this is a point to remember. So the extension for the Tableau files. So when you are working with a workbook, that is one particular worksheet, so that will by default have an extension called .twb, Tableau workbook, which means a Tableau workbook holds worksheets, dashboards, and stories. So which is nothing but a combination of worksheets or combination of dashboards. All that can be having an extension called .twb, Tableau workbook, right? And there is one more extension called .tbm. So which is nothing but Tableau workbook, which can store or can hold only up to one single worksheet. So if you wanted to store one single sheet of it, you will create it as .tbm, or else it will be generally a TWB. Now we have another extension called TWBX, Tableau Workbook Archive File. So here this archive consisting of not only the workbook, but also will carry all the data sources and the files together. So let's say if one of the user has shared their particular visualization to someone, and if they wanted to make some changes, as the data will not be provided to them, they'll not be able to make some changes. But certainly, if they send this particular extension of .twbx, which even holds the data sources, that is the data sources are also shared to them. So one who wanted to make a change can also do with this extension with TWBX. So most commonly used are these three extensions for working with the Tableau files. So there is something called .tde, not really very important, .data extract we can say. So here the local copy of a subset of the entire data source to share and improve the performance. Normally this is a copy of your file, you'll be sharing it with an extension called .tde. Or else any data sources, only if you wanted to send the data sources .tds. Often used data sources containing informations and modifications. So updations to that particular like chat or updations to your any kind of a data source, all that information can be saved into this extension .tds. Similarly, an archive file related to that is tdsx, containing the source file along with the related information, which has the packaged data source we call. So tdsx is the file extension. So these three are not really very important, but these three are the most commonly used extensions which we work on. So TWB, TBM, and TWBX, right? So basically remember these extensions so that you'll have a problem. One who is working with the desktop initially first will create all the TWB or TWBX files. They'll not be able to open it later with Tableau Public or something. So we just need to know the extensions, what type of file you're working on, right? So this is about something on the Tableau part. The next one is about the joins. You guys are very much known about it. Like yesterday also we worked with this as joins. So inner join, outer join, left outer join. The similar concept works here. It doesn't require to write a code. When you are pulling all the data from different sources, automatically based on the fields that will be taking up on your data and work on the joins concept. So you can also provide which field is common, only the common data to be taken up. So all that you can just specify which one you wanted to do it, right? So again, Tableau will be giving you the suggestions for that. And one other key feature which Tableau independently has it called as data blending. So data blending is nothing but one individual concept, which is the way to combine the data from multiple data sources into a single view. So here in this Tableau, we call it as a smart join. So this has a very like not a very huge concept we can, but this is something like a concept which is independent to the Tableau. We call it as a smart join when you're working with the different data sources, multiple data sources extracted. So it works very similar to a join, but not exactly a join, but it is something called as a smart join. If time permits, we'll try to work on it. But if someone is asking about a data blending, this is a unique feature of Tableau where the data which are combined from multiple data sources and we can create it as a single view upon that particular different data sources. We call it as a data blending. And one other term we can use it for that is a smart join, right? So these are all the points which we need to remember and understand from the Tableau perspective. Right, guys? Is that clear with this points of Tableau? Any questions so far on this?
So Krishna will be working on the data set next week.
Probably actually I thought of starting it now, but hardly we have 10 minutes of time.
Yeah.
Now with the data
exactly.
loading itself will be taking all that. So what you guys prefer, just tell me. So according to which we'll go for it. So most of them said like till 4:30 is only fine for today.
Yeah, I'm fine with next week. I can ask others.
Okay, because there is one more file or one more thing that we need to work is we need to load the data. We need to do the basic visualizations. At least it will take around 20 minutes to half an hour or something. So probably it would be good if we start in the next week. Because again, we hardly have a 10 minutes of time. So it should not be sufficient at all. So meanwhile, the people who are facing some issues with the installation can complete that. Okay. So is it good for everyone to start?
This is Prashant.
Yes, Prashant.
Yeah, actually, these two versions, Tableau Public and Tableau Desktop,
Mhm.
are two different versions. So I think, I mean, I have doubt that the only difference between these two versions are like loading the data from the different sources, right? I mean, here in Tableau
Right.
Public,
Yes.
it can only show me Excel text file, JSON, and statistical file. I
Absolutely.
think here we cannot put the data from the
Any databases like
cloud
Oracle or
and
any other. Yes.
servers.
Yes. Apart from
So we
that,
can do that in Tableau Desktop, right?
in the Tableau desktop, you can do. The other thing is if you wanted to save some kind of a visualization on a Tableau desktop, that will be saved onto your local file, like local machine, C drive, D drive with any extension. But whereas when you are saving that to the Tableau public, that doesn't get saved onto your machine. It has to be logged into your server. So when you click on a save button on the Tableau public, it will be redirecting to your Tableau website, for example, where your profile will be there. Upon that profile, you'll be like saving all that. Okay, so that's the difference in between these two. Rest of other than the visualizations are almost similar. Okay, right. And you asked for a download link, right? So which I'm able to download it directly from the desktop version. Well, I don't know why you have a problem. Is that, can you please see? This is the link where I have downloaded without anything or any problem. Or probably I'll also try to install and we'll see if any problems are raising up. Right, I've shared you the link there. You can just copy and paste and go for the link to check with it. Any other questions, guys? Any other doubts you have? Anyone else, guys? Any questions? So today I've shared you this presentation. Along with this, I've provided you some kind of a sheets to work on, but probably we'll try to work it on the next week itself. Yes, Bhav Singh, I'll show you all that. So probably how it happens is there is something else to explain me while we are loading the data sets also. So better we'll start next week to understand them so that we'll have all the visualizations. Probably next week we'll plan for more than 2 hours to cover all the basic charts for at least, let's see how much time, but at least we'll have for 2 hours plus to keep it in mind, so that we'll complete all the basic charts for one of the day. The other day we'll try to plan for the advanced charts. Okay, we'll do everything. If you just load the data now, again you'll have a confusion. You just drag and drop it, you'll have the visualization created. Nothing else, you'll find that something different, but we'll do on a some case based kind of thing, or else like what type of visualizations created. If we create this type of visualization, what will be there? So all that we'll try to understand one after the other. So probably the next week would be a right. Okay, so any questions for today, guys, from out of this presentation, whatever we have gone through for the theoretical points or anything else related to it? You can please revise the presentation for understanding purpose. If you still have any questions, we can discuss it in the next week. Okay, if all good, we can just conclude it for today. So we can meet back next week. So as per the Uday, let's see the time.